So here's a little quiz for you. What does the movie Back to the Future, customizing, Transformers, and time travel all have in common? Well, we're about to find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, that's right man, hit that notification bell please, because it helps me out a ton. And it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors, NL, the Autobot family, and have a look for me everywhere across social media. All those links, man, they're in the description. And I asked you a moment ago what a bunch of things had in common, and you know by now that it's this guy. It is a custom Micromaster named Marty McTime, and it's based on the DeLorean from the Back to the Future films. Of course, the DeLorean was the time machine that was used in those films. And of course, this is a custom of what was the awful, the terrible Swindler mold from the Micromaster size class in the Siege line. There's a lot there to kind of digest, I know. But this is exponentially better. And let me explain to you why when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And so our story this time actually begins with this lad. Now, if you will recall, when I reviewed this guy, I detested it. I thought it was a failure across the board, and in fact, he was my worst of, I believe it was 2018. I thought that this was so poorly done junk. I don't like the conversion. I don't like the lack of articulation. There's nothing about this that I liked other than the alt mode. But somebody else, of course, that being Dragonfly, saw something more here than I did, and he brought us something totally different from this mold. Behold the new vehicle mode that, inspired by Back to the Future, this is the time machine, the DeLorean that was used, evidently, by Marty in that film. It is one of those like weird custom crossover homages, but it makes this guy exponentially better than what he was. Exponentially. This vehicle mode has been custom painted. We have a custom Autobot symbol on the hood. The tires no longer function as tires. They have been turned inward, like the hover tires, I suppose we could say. Pieces and tubing have been added along the back and colored in, as well as the I guess we call them thrusters. I suppose that's what we still call them. But this looks so nice. It was painted, it was clear coated, it looks gorgeous in vehicle mode. But that's not all. He also went a step further and gave us a full-on tech spec car. Good night, nurse. And we have an image of Marty McTime over here. It's explained that Doc Brown tried to use Energon to fuel the DeLorean, and that it had unexpected side effects, making him, of course, a transformer. And now Marty McTime travels through time, trying to kind of foil the I don't know, plans of the time-traveling Galvatron. This is fantastic. And here you can see both of them side by side, so to speak, and as you can tell, even the gray was changed. Like, everything was done here. I'm going to give the paint job, honestly, a solid 10. I mean, he done a beautiful job for something so small, both in this mode and robot mode. It looks stupendous. But that's not where the differences end. It's not just paint. No, functionality, this guy is way better. How, you may ask? Well, we're going to take this piece of junk out of it, and this guy here has a completely different, not completely different, I guess, but a different enough transformation that it makes it so much better. The side pieces that were the shoulder pylons are no longer connected to the arms. They've been caught along really a seam that's right there and attached, if you will, to the hood, the way it probably always should have been. So now you kind of come here and you lift the hood forward, and then you lift it down over the back. And that allows you to pick the arms off from the sides and get them out. And now you can flip down the legs as we are prone to do with MicroMasters. And you can straighten down the arms again and sort of bring this down more on the back. And I'm gonna get things kind of cleaned up with this guy and stood up, and we'll take a look at him. And unlike the pretty terrible original version of this mold, this guy can take his arms all the way out to the side. The splits are, you know, the same as they always were. He still has his waist, he still has his knee, but the arms, oh, the arms are so much better. They can go all the way out to the side, they can go up, they can go down, they can, pretty much all they're missing is an elbow. This is the way this mold, as far as I'm concerned, always should have been. The transformation, easy, it's a 10. I mean, it's a MicroMaster transformation, so it is what it is. So we have a 10, we have a 10. What about the articulation? Well, I mean, it's a MicroMaster, so it's not perfect, but it's exceptionally better than what it was. I'm honestly going to give it a solid 7 for what it is. And just in case you needed the comparison, oh, gosh, this guy can't even stand. Such junk. That's no good, man. There, I guess. It's amazing how much I detest Swindler, but that I really dig. The slight changes that were done with Marty McTime made him exponentially better, more solid, easier to stand, more articulation. The overall score for Marty McTime has to be somewhere around a solid 8, 8.5. Maybe even a 9. It's a fantastic little MicroMaster. And here we are once again, and like, I think the colors pop more here, but I mean, I get it. It's a custom. It's gonna pop more. He stands easier, probably because of the extra bulk on the front of the legs. The big change is the articulation. The arms are now actually functional and usable, and kind of cutting those shoulder pieces off and affixing them to the hood makes so much more sense. You can do so much more here. This is hands down way better. It's a neat little custom. Yes, it's still a MicroMaster, and a lot of people are probably going to say, hey, I'd like a full deluxe class or Voyager class DeLorean, please. I'm behind you, man. I'm with you, especially after how excellent Ectotron was. But I can't deny that this is pretty fantastic, and I really appreciate Dragonfly letting me take a look at it. As always, you know, I want to hear what you guys think about this guy, and what other crossovers would you be down for? You know I appreciate it when you come by and give me some of your extremely valuable time. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, there's a donate link down in the description. Don't forget, somehow, some way, each and every day you do very much make a difference. And I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way right here, to have another visit inside the videos.